Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Cocktail Hour. I am Meg.
And I'm Nikki. And if you're a wedding vendor headed to work this weekend, may the odds ever be in your favor. And if you happen to have a double or a triple header, this drink is dedicated to you. ASMR, 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 ASMR.
Just imagine if we could be millionaires, just being like,
I love ASMR, ASMR, ASMR.
To be fair though, being able to hear what you're doing, that is soothing.
I told you.
That's soothing. I like it. Okay, stories today, just a heads up. So we have a concerned friend. I actually love this submission. It is not necessarily wedding related, like a wedding vendor didn't submit it. This is just a friend. Now, granted, she's concerned about her friend who is getting married. So we'll take it. I want to hear all your stuff. I don't care if you're a wedding vendor or if it's specifically about a wedding, like we'll still read it.
Also, PSA, what are we drinking today? Electric Cloud, sour watermelon, NA drink.
Love it. Because sometimes you need a little NA in your life.
Especially when it's 7 a.m.
That's true. So many things are going through my head right now, especially if it's 7 a.m. Also, I just feel like, I don't know, a big reason, and we got those at Marigold, Minnesota.
Shout out to Marigold.
Shout out to Marigold. But we've just been trying to incorporate different things. Like, yes, at a cocktail hour, there are people who are drinking alcohol. There are people who are drinking soda water. There are people, like,
There
there's
are
everything.
alcoholics who are drinking NA beverages.
Yes.
To, keep their sobriety on track.
Recovering alcoholics.
Recovering alcoholics. Love that for them. Shout out, Mom.
We're here to, like, represent... Hashtag Monica. We're here to support everybody. And yeah, and also, again, we need a little NA in our life.
We love it.
So, okay, back to the stories. We have a concerned friend. I can't wait to hear what you say about this. And then we also have a pastor who got their days mixed up. We were going to read this on the last pod where we, like, took a lunch break and really quick decided.
TikTok happened.
Yeah, TikTok happened.
How do you feel about not having TikTok?
So, I will say it is harder than I thought it was going to be. I originally, if those of you who don't know, originally when we got the message like, hey, it's leaving, and I think it only left for 12 hours, I just deleted it. It was getting to a point where I was addicted. I would have it, like my neck, I'm going to give myself scoliosis, where I was walking through rooms in my home and I'm just scrolling, and I just felt like I was not being as productive as I definitely could have been. It is easy, as everybody knows, I think, you can just get sucked for hours.
You can get sucked for hours.
You can get sucked for hours.
You can suck for hours.
And your jaw doesn't even hurt. But I just was like, I'm gonna delete it. I'm done with this. Within 12 hours, it's back. And I thought that I had a lot of self-control. I was like, no, I'm not re-downloading it. I don't care that it's back. And then two things. The podcast started to pop off a little bit on socials.
Yes.
And I put that all on your shoulders. I was like, hey, I can post on Insta if you want to post on TikTok. Well, TikTok's getting a lot more engagement than Instagram is. So I'm like, there's nothing for me to do on our Instagram. And you're fielding comments left and right, arguments.
I'm having Kylie from TikTok fight with me. Kylie, if you're listening, you're not. I know you're not. Why'd you delete your comments? Please bring back the engagement. We need it. We're trying to make a living here.
We're trying to grow the pod. But there's just a lot going on. So I'm like, fuck, I really should re-download. Like, I need to be helping Nikki.
You can't.
And I can't.
Literally cannot
you guys,
do
if
it.
you delete TikTok, it's gone. It's not on the...
R.I.P. to Miss Talk.
Yeah, she's not on the App Store. So I definitely... I will say, though, if you're a small business and you don't want TikTok, you don't want to be scrolling and be addicted and whatnot, but you do want to have your business on TikTok, I came across something last night because I was trying to find a way, like a crack addict, to download TikTok or have access to TikTok somewhere. So I'm like on my laptop, safari.com, like TikTok.
I was like, I need TikTok. I need a solution.
And I came across, like, yes, Safari or Google Chrome has TikTok, but it's not as easy. Like, yeah, you can't just sit and scroll and walk around your house. So that is nice.
With your laptop, Meg is literally walking around like this, walking from room to room, tripping into shit. Like,
imagine how strong my forearms would be, though, just holding my laptop at all times.
Do it.
But there's also a thing called TikTok Studio, which is for people to upload photos to. It's all connected. Like you get all the TikTok music, all of these different things.
Yeah.
So you still have the capability to run your business and you can reply to comments. Like it actually makes it very easy. Like you can be like, here's my notifications. I just want to see my comments. I just want to see my likes. I just want to see my follows. Like, and it makes it really easy to do everything you need to do without the,
Yeah, the constant doom scrolling, the
Yeah.
dread scrolling. No,
So
that makes sense.
That makes me happy because I'm just in a spot where, like I said, I was taking up so much of my time. I was saving. I was in that spiral of saving things that I wanted to make for the business, but not doing anything. I was
Yeah,
not
I do that
creating.
too.
And I was like, this has to stop. So
One thing that I do, and I don't know if anybody else, any of the girlies listening, or even the boys, like we said in our last episode, the boys listening, I send myself, because I'm a crazy person, so like preparing for our little road trip, which by the time this episode comes out, we will literally have been home from. So if you're looking for an update on my competition, I can't give you one because we're pre-recording, because we will literally be on a flight at the time of the release of this episode.
Yeah.
But one thing that I do on the Instagrams is I will find like outfit reels and I'll send them to my like personal page from my business account, or from my business account to my personal page, and I will save all of this outfit inspiration and I put it to use. I know people say like, oh, I'll
that's
save and
good.
send myself videos and I won't like do anything with them. I put those motherfuckers to use. I wore the cutest little outfit yesterday to go with my stepdaughter wedding dress shopping. And I showed up and everybody was like, oh my gosh, you look so, not to toot my own horn, you look so nice. You look so fancy. And I was like, first of all, I'm wearing a skinny jean with a riding boot and a sweater and a white button down underneath. It's nothing crazy. But did she look cute? Yes.
But the
Did I
inspo
see the
came in
inspo
clutch.
on the Instagram reels? I sure as shit did. And I put it to use. So for our trip for California,
Oh, God.
you know what I'm doing? I got all these inspo saved. I already have a little list typed out of all of my
I'm already unhappy about this. If those of you who don't know, I am
my packing list: Vegas fits, my High Rocks fit, black shorts with pockets, my going out to dinner that night outfit, travel fits, tops, black sweater, chunky white sweater, button down white shirt, denim button down, one fitted t-shirt, one fitted long sleeve shirt, white and tan tank top, 2 pairs of jeans, 1 legging, ballet flats, and my Sam Edelman tennis shoes. Like, I'm good. Hats.
do you want to know what my packing list is going to be?
Sweatshirts thrown into a bag.
Like literally I'll be like, here's a couple pairs of jeans, here's a couple t-shirts.
And this is where a Giggly Squad reference comes into play, is that like you are very Hannah coded, and I am very Paige coded, in the sense that I do love a cute little outfit thrown together. I actually had a friend, and I love Hannah, and I love that it's more like, yeah, I truly don't want to put effort in, like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I think that's great. I have my Hannah days too where I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm wearing my literal workout clothes right now. I haven't showered in 2 days. Like, I'm sorry. I don't care. But I had a friend, and if she's listening, she'll know who she is. I felt like she was trying to almost like insult me by referencing. She was like, I'm so Paige and you're so Hannah. And I was like, oh, what do you mean by that? She sent me this video of Hannah going to an interview. And if you don't know who this is, these are 2 girls who were on reality TV, and they also have a podcast called Giggly Squad. Do not tune out of us to tune into them.
Yeah,
They're
later.
funny,
You can
but
do it later.
But she was on an interview on like the Today Show wearing a suit jacket with a tie, suit shorts, like jorts, not shorts, jorts, and Croc heels. And my friend goes, you would totally rock that. And
I was going to say, that doesn't sound like something that you would wear.
I would never.
Even I would never do that.
No.
I feel like
Oh my
I'm a
God.
mixture between like Hannah and Chris Farley. Like,
Fucking Meg.
like I'm not gonna wear something like that.
I'm not wearing Croc heels.
Yeah,
Let's be so
it's
fucking
not-
for real
or
right
jorts, nothing like that.
now. I thought it was the most insult, and I love Hannah Burner.
Yeah.
And this is also not
was
to
gonna say,
insult
are you shading me?
No, because I know you would never wear that.
No.
She literally, you're just like cool girl street clothes, pretty much.
Fair.
Yeah.
I like a jean and a tee.
When she tries to go out and do those crazy fits, I'm
Yeah.
like, you would obviously never do that.
Yeah.
So for somebody to tell me that I would do that, I was like, I know you mean this maybe in the nicest way possible, but I am highly offended and feeling very insulted right now because
Like, I should call Meg, actually, because now I feel bad that I said she was my Hannah.
I need to show you this and I will find it and we can move on. But like, I need to find, it was something like this,
Oh, yeah, no.
but not that. Worse.
I was going to say, that gave, like, Spice Girls energy.
No. It was bad. And we can insert it into the pod. I will find a screenshot and freaking share it because I
was going to say, you're
honestly
going to have to send it to me.
wanted to throw up and cry. But anyway, we can
Outside of that, though, what's new for you? I mean, I feel like we've talked. They all know that we're going on a trip. We're on a trip. Now we're back from a trip.
literally we won't have any
Competition.
updates because we have to pre-record. So that was kind of my update, is that I won't have any updates until our next episode. So you guys are just gonna have to stay tuned for what has happened over the course of 2 weeks in our lives. That'll be
Yeah.
a big update.
And if you want to continue staying updated with what we got going on, you got to follow.
Follow us on the socials, like our
Not just
personal,
I
our
was gonna
businesses,
say-
but our pod page. For sure. We post on our stories a lot, like especially on our road trip, you guys. We're going to be posting so many updates. We are bringing tons of gear, tons of fun stuff. We plan to vlog and just like have a good time. We're not setting up like professional shoots like we've mentioned in
Yeah.
previous episodes, but we are going to like just share more personal stuff and
Yeah.
let you guys know the kind of girls that we really are.
The kind of girls we are.
The kind of girls that we really be out here in the camper van.
I'm so excited. Have you ever taken a camper van?
No, where do I poop?
Not in the camper van. So we don't, it's not an RV. I mean, we could look at an RV, but okay. Again, we're already going to be back by the time this comes out, but escape camper vans, I've taken them multiple times. There's different vans you
Love
can
it.
get, but the one that we have, it's pretty built out inside with like a bed, like a queen size bed, all of this different stuff, and then we'll have a kitchenette in the back, but no toilet. So that actually hit me the other day. I go, where the fuck are we gonna shower and shit?
Yeah, we're gonna have to go to like RV sites and
Yeah.
and use
And
public
they have
bathrooms.
very nice ones
I'm okay
in like
with that.
San Diego and stuff. They have beautiful RV parks, like with electric, with really nice
Yeah.
facilities. So that's kind of what I think.
I
we're
believe
gonna-
that. I'm not worried about it. Honestly, I plan to bring a healthy amount of dry shampoo.
Yeah.
So that I can make sure that the hair isn't looking super gnarly and unbrushed.
That's fair.
Typically what I've been doing with my hair, because I do go to the gym every day. So if you heard me say that I haven't showered in 2 days, no, you fucking didn't. I wash my body. I don't wash my hair.
That's technically like, that is a prison shower, and that's okay.
Yeah, but do I always do it? No. Most
I tried to give her an out, you guys, and
Literally-
she wouldn't fucking take it.
I won't not shower for more than 1 day. Like that's God.
Terrible.
Even if I did, screw you guys if you're judging me. I don't care.
People are just gonna stop coming to anything you're at.
They're like, that girl's disgusting. We hate her. But I still look cute. And what I was going to say is that,
True.
like, what I did yesterday, I worked out for a solid hour straight before I had to go wedding dress shopping. And I was disgusting. I took a body shower. My hair was so greasy because I put gel in it too to slick it back.
yeah.
Still haven't washed it for days. The amount of sweat that's probably built up in this hoe, crazy. But a beautiful slick back bun, your girl will rock with for several days on end.
I bet that's why
So.
Hailey Bieber does it. She's just so greasy.
She's just actually so dirty and
Yeah.
disgusting.
So she's like, let me do this slick back look. I've
love
never
it.
been able to do a slick back bun. Now I definitely can. But even when I
Yeah.
had long ass hair, I don't like it because I would get headaches if my hair was pulled back too
It
tight.
gives me a headache. I had the worst headache yesterday afterwards. I was like, this was a choice, and I think I'm regretting the choice that I made.
I think for me, as I've gotten to be old, I will not forsake comfort for cuteness. I got a new pair of Levi's, and I got it one size smaller because I'm like, well, I'm still kind of losing a little bit of weight, and like my other Levi's were kind of like becoming a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So I said, let me go down a size, and I put them on, and I was like, I can barely breathe, but okay. And I was like, I'm not going to wear these around. I just wanted to get the lower size. They were on clearance. So I was like, I'll just put them in the drawer. Well, then I literally had to make an emergency run to go like pick up the Subaru.
Yeah.
And I had to call an Uber and I forgot I had these jeans on because they're standing jeans.
Those I was gonna say, that's what we
Yeah.
call standing jeans.
Standing jeans, but I had to get into this Uber and ride for 20 minutes in the back of a hot Uber in my winter clothes,
Oh
and these
no.
pants were cutting off circulation, and I thought I was gonna die. And I remember literally in the back of this Uber, and this is not one button. They're Levi's that are like button, 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 button,
Yeah.
button.
Yeah.
popped them
I'm
open.
opening the gates to
Yeah.
hell. Like
Yeah.
I do not care.
I do
I'm
not care. I need
ripping
to
it
be
open.
comfortable. I cannot do this.
No.
And I have no shame. But
Anyway.
okay, you want to roll into the first story because I'm excited to hear your
Let's
thoughts.
roll into story number 1. Okay, so this is an anonymous submission. Okay, not really a wedding vendor submission, but these two are getting married now, so I thought it was applicable. I need to know what you would do in this situation. I have a close friend who recently got engaged, and although her now fiance isn't the worst person in the world, he is not necessarily a crazy abusive partner. Thank you for clarifying. But he truly acts like he doesn't like her. I don't even know how to describe this without going into super detailed specifics that I think would give it away if she were to be listening. But in a nutshell, he just seems to not think much of her. Her accomplishments aren't a big deal to him. He doesn't try to spend quality time with her, try to get to know her friends. He also will make these little jokes at her expense when they happen to be in a group setting. That's shitty.
Yeah, we don't like that.
I don't know. She seems to think it's all in good fun and that's just his personality. But we all look at this and think, yeah, that guy doesn't like you. They are both early 30s. So I just feel like he proposed just because people have been asking why they haven't gotten married yet. And I truly can't tell if she said yes for the same fact that she feels at her age she has no other option, or if she truly is that blind to how much of a punk this guy is. I love the use of the word punk. Not many people use it, except for you use it a lot.
Do I?
Yeah, love it. Okay, this is getting long, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to figure out if I should say anything to her. I'm unsure if she just needs a little push or assurance that we'd all have her back. On the other end, I don't know if she will be absolutely pissed if I bring this up. I just want her to be happy, not stuck in an unhappy marriage. Help. Oof, woof.
I kind of love that that was not a wedding vendor submission. Like, I kind of love
But it is
that.
wedding related in the sense that your friend is getting married or is engaged and potentially starting to plan a wedding and you are concerned about her.
Yeah. I know what advice I want to give. What I would do if this were me, I feel like I'd say something. Like, it would be very hard for me to see one of my friends treated poorly and not say anything.
Oh, 100%.
But in the same vein, you have to be really careful with shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm giving advice to someone else, I don't want you to ruin your life.
Yeah.
But, like, it's really nerve-wracking giving advice to friends. Like, if it goes wrong, if they break up,
you don't want to be to blame.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And I feel like you will be to blame
no matter what.
No matter fucking what.
It's kind of a lose-lose. However, this is what I tell everybody. I've had a lot of friends come to me saying, like, what should I do in this situation regarding another friend? My suggestion is always, if you come from a place of empathy, care, and love, and your friend doesn't understand, then that's a friendship that you need to maybe reevaluate and reconsider if that's a good friendship for you to have for your own mental health, for your own well-being in the first place.
Yeah.
If you go to your friend with empathy, well-being, care, and love, and they accept where you're coming from and say, thank you for caring about me enough to say this, and they still disagree with you, then that's okay.
Yeah.
You at least know that you did what you thought was right. Now, if you're going to your friend just being an asshole saying, I think you're doing the wrong thing. I hate this guy. I hate this guy. Blah, 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 blah. X, Y, and Z. He's a douche. Whatever. Obviously, that is where you land yourself in a tough position of saying, like, yes, I approached this completely inappropriately and wrong.
Yeah.
And your friend has every right to say, you're being a dick. Like, I don't it doesn't sound like you're coming
Yeah.
to me because you care about me and love me. It sounds
Agreed.
like you're coming to me because you simply don't like my fiance and you don't want me to marry him.
Yeah.
So I think there are two different ways of approaching it. And I think there is a right way and there is a wrong way. And it just depends on the kind of friendship you have with this person too. Do you feel comfortable approaching them in a really, you know, safe, loving, caring way and saying, hey, this is what I observe, and my observations might not be reality.
Yeah.
Like it might just be my perception, but I love you and I care about you enough to say these things. And if you tell me you're happy, I will be supportive of you and love you through it no matter what.
Yeah. And I think too, you have to give your friend the benefit of the doubt. Like, is she an idiot?
Right.
Or is she like, also, you never know, you never really know what's going on behind closed doors. But like you said, you can say, hey, this is my perception. This might be a cultural thing. Like, there's a lot of different factors. I always tell the story though, this is why situations like this are hard for me. I am in a relationship where even my sister says like not everybody's boyfriends have like their noses up their ass, and I was like, well, that's a you problem, not a me problem, because Adam is so, and I know he's gonna listen to this, and I don't know if he's gonna think this is like a complimentary thing,
Sure,
but he and I have our own problems and we have had our own arguments, but there's never been a day of my life where I questioned how much he loved me. And I will say that sometimes you don't know until like the spell is broken in a situation. And I'm going to use someone, and if anyone from my high school is listening, they know exactly who I'm talking about. Hey, more Mustangs. I was so incredibly in love with a certain specific person from first grade. Like, we have photos together from first grade. Like, I was so in love with this person. If he dated someone else throughout high school, I was diabolical to those people.
Gonna say, no.
I was not nice, and it was so dumb. It was like that romanticized, like you're a kid.
It's infatuation. It's not in love. It's infatuation at that age because you just don't know any different.
You don't know. And this person was very, very loving and nice to me in moments and really horrible to me. So what happens? Again, you're teenagers. It's fine. It's whatever. And then I broke up with a boyfriend my like early to mid 20s, and I started speaking to this guy again from my high school. And those feelings started to come back of like, oh my gosh, like I'm so in love with this person. Just ridiculous. And I thought this person could do no wrong. And something so small happened, and in my mind, it absolutely broke a spell. And it makes me think about Adam all the time, where I go, he would never say something like this. So I was talking to this guy about like, oh, I think he was going snowboarding, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think like going snowboarding would be really cool, like going to Colorado or Wyoming, going snowboarding.
Yeah.
And he just said something along the lines of like, you couldn't snowboard. And it just, in that moment, it was so small. And to him, it probably meant nothing. But to me, I just sat there and I was like, babe, like, Meg, you are not 15 anymore.
Yeah, you don't have to put up with that shit.
You're 25. And like, you're still pining after someone who really doesn't seem to think all that much about you or like whatever. Whereas I remember Adam and I got together, and anything I've ever thrown at him that I want to try or whatever, he's always so like, yeah, you should do that. Even if he can't go, he's so like, he pushes me to try new things, and like he always thinks that I can be the best at anything. And again, it's so dumb. I don't even want to snowboard. I don't think I could from a physical standpoint, actually, if I'm being honest. But I was just like, that moment of realizing like, what is wrong with my brain? And in that moment, I made the decision, like, I'll never actually want to be with this person. This is purely like you said, that infatuation. So the point of all of that is just, I feel like sometimes, again, it may just be your perception, or sometimes people cannot be told nothing until they have a moment of clarity for themselves. And again, that was with someone that I thought I was in love with from the first grade. I was 7 years old, and I just sat there and I was like, I'm a dumb bitch. I was like, what am I doing? So I don't know. Things like that, it's really hard, because if anyone tried to talk to me about that person, whether I was, in the second grade or whether I was in the 11th grade, I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Just a dumb kid. But when you want to be loved so badly, it's really hard to see clearly on how someone's treating you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like you said, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You don't say anything and you're worried about them, and then you do say something and you might get cut out. They get married and you never see her again because she's pissed off at you.
But that is a part of life. I mean, that's
That's
just how
true.
life kind of unfolds. And I think like in a situation like that, if you feel like you have a level of a relationship with somebody where you can approach them and share with them your concern out of
Yeah.
love, then that's worth doing because are you going to, and it's not about you even necessarily. Like, I don't want to say, oh, is it going to take a weight off of your shoulders if you say something? Like, it's really not about you.
Yeah.
And if that's how you feel, like, I need to say something because it's going to take a weight off of my shoulders, then don't say anything at all because at that point you are making it about yourself. I think looking at somebody and saying, like, out of my deepest level of love and concern for this person, I feel like I have to say something. You can say something, and if they don't receive it well, then they don't receive it well, and that's on them, and that's really unfortunate. Like you said, you
Yeah.
may never see them again, but like as an adult, as shitty as this sounds, that's how life works. Like it's really unfortunate, but I've had friends who I thought were going to be my lifelong friends who
Yeah.
I shared sisterhood with that I thought were my ride or dies, my literal bonded for life friends
Yeah.
who, as soon as I got a divorce and left my cult church, never spoke to me ever again, completely cut me out of every single part of life. And I'm okay with that. I've come to terms with that. And I have gained an infinite amount more love,
Yeah.
friendship, sisterhood than I've ever known with people like you, with people like Grace, with people,
Yeah. That didn't have like
that didn't have
stipulations.
stipulations that have come into my life since that time period because I still have amazing friends from like childhood
Yeah.
and, high school who have always stuck by me, which like I love you guys so much. But like losing those adult friendships that I had formed and gaining the new ones without those stipulations, like I know I have friendships where we can have conversations that we've had conversations where you've said, listen, I'm coming to you. I love you,
Yeah.
but I need to say this. And we've worked through those things. And
Yeah.
if you find yourself in a place where you can't work through those things with somebody, then maybe it is time to cut your losses and just be okay with not being friends.
Yeah, I think that that's just friendship. And it's so funny you say that. I was listening to a podcast the other day with Bridget Everett. Have you ever seen the HBO show it's like Somebody Somewhere?
No.
It's a really good representation of adult friendships and how like there is going to be fucking conflict.
It's really hard to navigate.
Yeah, like you cannot just assume that everything is going to be perfect. We're all humans and we all see things very differently. So like if you are friends with someone, you're bound to have conflict. That doesn't mean you're going to be choking each other, but like
Right.
you are going to have, like you said, like there's going to be times where you come to me and you're like, you need to like, lower it down. Like there's always going to be things that we want to talk to each other about. But if the good outweighs the bad and you're both willing, you're like, no, I really do adore my friendship with this person and I love them.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk through things like that's life, just like an actual partner.
Right.
You got to work at it. I really struggle with that. I don't struggle with working. Like, I don't mind having conversations. I don't love confrontation with people that I know and love, unless it's Adam. Like, I'll pick a fight
Yeah.
any day. But I just, for me, it's the time. And that's been a commitment that I'm making in 2025 where I'm trying to go out, not go out more, but like spend time with people that I love. Like,
Yeah.
making friends and not just never seeing them, trying, not to say we see each other every week, but trying to make an effort.
We do.
Yeah, I mean, we do, but trying to make an effort with other people to say like, I care enough about you
Yeah.
to make time in my schedule. I don't need to sit home and stare at my phone for 10 hours. I can go see a movie. I can go out for drinks and, whatever. So go and support different vendor events.
Right.
I think those things are important. And that's also what makes us human is finding those connections. Like, yes, you can just be a recluse and sit in your house. Like you can do whatever you want to do as long as you're not hurting anybody. But I feel like living life, like really getting out there and living, I don't think you'll regret that when,
sure.
You're waiting to no longer be Earthside.
Yeah. So best
That
of
one got
luck
serious.
to you. Sorry we got so serious. I think it was like a little bit more of a serious submission, and I
Yeah.
think it deserves a more serious tone because it sounds like you really do care about your friend, and I hope that it works out. I feel like asking for a follow-up is obviously a natural thing for us to do, but I feel like if you do provide a follow-up, it'll be really obvious as to who it is based
Yeah.
on what happens. So don't feel pressed to do so, but good luck to you. I think navigating adult friendships, especially female friendships, can be really difficult, and I just wish you the best of luck.
Agreed. You know what I was thinking about the other day? Just speaking of adults and our. So I was thinking about this. Millennials, okay? We were born, I mean, I'm 92. You're 92 or 93?
93.
93.
What do you think I am?
Okay, well, fuck off. But anyways, I'm a 92.
The
When,
fuck?
when is your birthday? I should know this.
This is disrespectful. Can you at least guess the month?
Why do I feel like you're a summer baby? Are you not a summer baby?
Guess the month. I'm like telepathically telling you.
I want to be like, telepathically tell me with your lips. I don't know Morse code. Why do I feel like it's like August?
Jesus Christ.
Am I way off?
We're no longer friends. If anybody's watching this pod, welcome
When
to the
is my
last
birthday?
episode.
Actually, the only reason you know even what month it is
Is it December 7th?
it's not. You're a week off, but you're still close. I appreciate that.
Well, is it December 15th or
14th.
13th? 14th.
Yeah. Sag.
Yeah,
December
I know that.
Sag.
I know.
I don't know
Because
any
one of my other best friends is December 17th.
That makes sense why you'd have some December Sag best friends.
Yeah.
But the point I'm getting at is I was thinking about this today that we talked about it on a previous episode that I've been obsessed with Doechii. So I was listening to Doechii as well on the way here. And I just do that thing. Now, I don't know if this is controversial. But I don't know if this is a millennial thing or if this is a white person thing. But
Don't get us canceled.
But I go like this when I dance. I'm like,
that's a millennial thing.
okay, thank you. But it got me thinking about frown lines because I've been thinking a lot about just like my face.
So when is my birthday? Re-guess the month. It's earlier than August. Earlier.
June.
Early.
Yeah, you fucking
Earlier.
May?
Yeah. Now just guess a day in May.
20th.
Close. It's the 19th.
This is embarrassing.
That was close.
May 19th. Okay.
1993. Never forget it, bitch.
Oh, so you're not that far. You're literally almost like, what, 6 months after me?
I'm younger than you. Anyway.
May 19th. I'm texting you that. Not like you need to remember it, but I need to remember it. Okay, the point of all of this is that I was thinking about how we're aging and how I really feel like millennials are going to have the biggest frown lines of all the generations. Now, I do agree that like older generations have pretty major frown lines, but that's because like
they lived through the Depression.
That or they were really angry about things like people drinking out of the same water fountain. Like, but that's a them thing. That's not like a cult, or it is a cultural thing, but like that's their issue. Our issue is like we have the best music.
I agree.
I've been frowning since I was in middle school. And I'm going to provide you an exact, like, this came on my this came on my radio today. On my radio.
Like, what are you, 90?
I'm just waiting. And all the millennials out there who are listening to this, I just want to see your faces.
Ooh, what is it? God, I love it.
But the point of all of that is like I've been frowning since middle school. I've been going since middle school, and I just feel like I'm gonna have the craziest jowls that droop.
The way that I get Botox is crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna send that to you. So Nikki sends me a picture yesterday of her.
I was so ugly.
She sends a picture of herself to me yesterday from
In
a couple
2020.
a couple years ago, and she was like, "What was happening with my face?" And I wanted to be like, "Well,
It wasn't
you
frozen.
were 20 pounds heavier, and you didn't have Botox." Botox in your face.
That's true.
But
or filler, because I do get lip filler. I'm not going to lie. Nobody ever believes me. They're like, wait, you get your lips filled? When I tell you that I was the most thin-lipped bitch, and there's nothing wrong with having thin lips. However, for me, personally, I can't go back. And I don't overfill my lips. They look very natural. They look normal. They are now just normal lips.
Yeah.
So imagine what it was before when I was like this, talking like this all the time.
As her thin-lipped bestie just glares at her.
No, they're not thin.
I
didn't have an upper lip.
I have a very thin upper lip, but here's my biggest fear. I have an extremely addictive personality.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't start.
I know that if I start things like that, it will be very hard for me to stop. Like getting my nails done.
I fear for you.
You guys, I wear sweats most of the time, but my nails, I have $200 nails on at any given time. I cannot invest more money into this.
Yeah.
I just need to go to the gym. Like that's what I need to be doing for myself.
Hit your girl up.
No, I am not going to do any CrossFit shit. Okay.
Anyway.
Anyways, I just had that little moment I needed to share. But
shout out to Infinite Youth Medical, by the way. Also BYK, also the Beauty Jungle, all these places that I go and see the most wonderful aesthetics people in the world. Love them. I see Diane at Infinite Youth Medical in Minnetonka for my lips, and Katie's also amazing, and Haley at BYK, and Sam at Sweet Cheeks, and Jamie at the Beauty Jungle. Everywhere. Just love my girls.
Actually, before we go into the next story, I know on the last episode I did my little complaints corner. I don't have quite a complaints corner, but I do have a couple things that I've been like thinking about. They've been on my mind, and I'm just curious what your thoughts are.
I just want to know what this is.
So, number one, my house. You've been to my house.
Outside, Meg literally would not let me inside of her house. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You call me a bestie. She'd never let me in her house. She was like, yeah, you actually can't come in here. It was raining and muddy. And I was like, wait.
It's not that the house is disgusting, but I used to live in this most beautiful single girl apartment, and I just loved it so much. It was like Sex in the City. And now I live in a house with 3 pets and a man, and I'm like, no one's coming in this fucking house.
I have 5 animals.
Still. Okay, the point of this, though, is that you've been to my house. There's a curb, obviously, outside. I like to park nice and close to the curb.
Okay.
How do I accomplish that? I like to hop up onto the curb.
Yeah.
With the car, and then slightly bring it down.
Okay.
And Adam goes, you know that you're not supposed to actually, the tire's not supposed to go up onto the curb. And I say, well, that's you.
Men don't know anything. Let's be so completely honest when it comes to driving.
Yeah. I was like, well,
the men are going to hate that.
That's you. But me, I finna pull up.
I'm finna pull up on this curb right here.
Number 2, my mom used to check the stove 4 times before we leave the house.
Mom
or
might
like
have OCD.
Well,
I think this is where, okay.
Right? Or we'd be like getting out of the car to go to the grocery store, and I swear she'd like lock it and check it, lock it and check it. This all is now making sense. But I used to think she was the dumbest person ever. I was like, Jacqueline, you have checked all of these things already. Why are we doing this? I do it now. It's not even funny.
Jacqueline needed to see her psychiatrist.
Agreed.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, no.
We have had many transparent conversations about our mental health and stuff. Jacqueline was experiencing
all makes sense.
a lot of anxiety and intrusive thoughts at the time.
But back then I was just like, you're a dumb person.
You were being mean. I was so mean to my mom. I still am.
I think that's just kind of like daughters are mean to their moms. I believe that whether you read the book first or you see the movie first, often that's what you think is better.
That's an interesting take, and I'll give you that, probably, because it's what you're used to.
Yeah.
It's what your brain has suckled up.
And I feel like your brain has made the distinction that, like, that is the way it should have been done. Unless it's so crazily different where you're like, wait, what? But I truly feel like if you read the book, you've already decided what these characters look like. You know all these little intricacies.
I agree.
Like all of these. But if you go see the movie first, then I feel like, well, number one, you already know what happens. I don't feel like you're going to enjoy the book as much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just always feel like people harp so badly on like the movie is not as good as the book. I'm like, okay, but what if you watch the movie first?
I
I'm
don't know,
curious.
because I will say it ends with us. The movie was not as good as the book. And when the actress came out, I was like, Blake Lively is not a 23-year-old Lily Bloom. And had I seen the movie first, I still think I would, and then read the book, I would have been like, oh, this is not an accurate representation of who that actress should have been.
Yeah, I do agree. Don't get me started on
Yeah,
that
we will
chickapoo.
touch Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni a different day.
And then, if I ever go to prison, it's because I hit a pedestrian with my car. And it's a fear I have on a daily basis. I'm not saying like I'm not running sidewalks and stop signs and stuff. I am so scared that I'm going to accidentally hit a human or someone's going to like
Yeah, I don't
run
think
into
people
the
go
road.
to prison for accidentally hitting people unless they drive away afterwards.
Fair, but if you hit someone and it is your fault, like let's say if you maybe weren't paying attention and you hit someone and they die.
Okay, well that's a different story.
Oh no, I mean if they die. It is such a fear of mine that someone that I won't see them, but that I'm in the wrong, and I go to prison for accidentally clipping a bike or something like that. It's something I think about.
Yes.
Oh,
okay. Yes. Do you have an itch in your sock? What's going on? Oh, Meg got a pedicure. Thank God, you guys.
You guys can't see it, but I did write down Meg's toes as a note for myself.
Absolutely, thank God, because literally toes are repulsive. And I will say, like, gross toes on men, sure, fine. You're a disgusting man anyway. Gross toes on a girly pop, I will pay for your pedicure. I will.
Can we really quick though
pay.
clarify that they're not gross? They're not like yellow toes. They just were chipped and overgrown and they needed to be cared for. But they weren't like crusty yellow toenails.
They had a line of demarcation.
Didn't. I'm never showing you my toenails again. Here's what happens. Again, I always have $200 nails. But with my toes, I forget about them. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, we're going on a week-long trip. I need to fix these. I think that those are the things that last one. I don't know if I brought this up already.
You should have never mentioned them feet, girl.
I'm literally gonna choke you. Adam had a question for us.
What?
He goes, how the fuck are you and Nikki ever going to get anywhere in this van when you're both going to be wanting to pull over to the side of the road to take photos?
We're not.
Constantly.
Adam, shut up. We're not.
I do. On road trips, I
Meg.
stop all the time. But I feel like if we have specific spots we know we're going to stop,
Yes,
then
that's
maybe it'll be fine.
different.
But like...
I will take pictures. Okay, here's the thing, too. I was going to ask, can we sign me up to be a driver in this van? I will pay
Yes.
$200 if I need to.
Yeah.
I need to drive. I spent 2 weeks in Mexico without driving. I got home and I was like, am I slow? Do I not know how to function a freaking car anymore? I need to drive. But to answer Adam's question, I will be driving. And if Meg says, pull over right here, I'll be like, bitch, you saw the same ocean view 6 minutes ago. We're
Okay.
not stopping.
I'm going to give you an example. I was driving from Minnesota to Texas. Okay.
When I drove to Minnesota to Texas, same time? Okay.
Different time. And I was solo, and I look to my right, and I see the most beautiful horses.
Okay, that I stop for, obviously. If it's an
Okay.
animal, we're stopping. There's
Okay.
not a question about that.
That's fair. Story time. Speaking of
Storytime.
animals,
I was
quick.
literally going to say,
This is how you know that we are so close. Is like we think about the exact same thing at the exact same
and
time.
we were in Texas for
were
a
in
wedding
Texas.
together.
Nikki and I were in Texas to shoot a wedding, and we're driving down the road
To the wedding.
a one-way road. Okay, we look to
Not
our
any road either. It's not a side street. This is a it's
service.
like a frontage road, like a
Yeah.
service road. So there is active cars using this road. It's not a side road. It's a very busy road on the next to a highway.
Yeah. And we take it, I think because we took the wrong exit. I don't know. Texas is all over
Exits
the
in
place.
Texas are the most
It's
disgusting thing. They're
nuts.
foul.
If you
Should be
have like
sued.
a super exit where you can go super fast and then like a frontage road, I'm like, I
No.
hate all this. So we're driving down this road. We look to our right into this field, if you will.
It was a field, yep.
And there are some deer
There was
think
one deer
one
and
deer.
two Great Pyrenees dogs. If you know what
Big
a Great
white
Pyrenees
dogs.
is, it's a large white dog, and they are often used as farm dogs to keep predatory animals away. I know families use them in like Colorado to keep like mountain lions away and stuff like that as well. Bears, if you will.
So we see this crew,
This one dog or this one deer.
one deer with these two dogs, and we're driving 50 miles an hour, and we look at it and we go, oh my gosh. And then it starts, our intrusive thoughts start.
We both stop. We look at each other. We're like, oh my God. What if the dogs are cornering the deer and they're going to eat it and they're going to tear it apart?
Yeah.
We need to do something. We need to pull over. Stop the car, pull over. So Meg.
And we had driven
Oh,
about a half a mile past
this already.
Yeah.
But we couldn't stop thinking about it. And knowing both of us, it would have ruined our day had we not gone back. So Meg, what does she do? Puts it into reverse. And I'm like, okay. I'm looking back. I'm like, you're good. Cars are honking at us. Cars are flying by us. They're pissed. They're like, what are we doing? We're driving backwards on the road.
On a one-way
until we
road.
get to the deer. And mind you, it's like next to a motel where this is. So we pull in. We both get out of the car. We start running.
Like we're gonna wrestle these two Great Pyrenees away from this deer. We are ready to rock and roll. And what happens, Nick?
They're all friends.
They're playing.
They're literal friends.
Yeah.
We're panicked that this deer is going to get torn to shreds. Mind you, it easily could have. We could have driven away, and that's what could have happened.
That's
but in
true.
our minds, what we saw, these dogs are this deer's mother and father.
Yeah.
Mommy and
they're
daddy,
almost
mama
like
and
playing
papa.
freeze tag
They're
with each
literally
other.
just kind of like bopping around like a dog does and a deer does. Have you ever seen a TikTok or a Instagram reel of a deer playing with a dog? That's literally what was happening.
And we almost risked our lives and others
We were panicking.
to save this deer.
The life of a
who
deer
probably
we've
got
never
hit
met.
by a car 5 minutes after that. No, do you know? So Kylie McCann, shout out. She is an amazing photographer out in Utah, and I did a mentorship with her. And I went out to Utah to do a shoot with her in the hills or whatever in this reservoir. And we're driving down a road, and a random dog is on the side of the road. And I look at her, and we drive past, and I look at her. I said, I mean this in the most respectful way. I need you to turn around.
100%.
I said, because I won't be able to focus all day if I don't check that the dog has a collar or something like that. And now Kylie's probably like, bitch, I'm in these mountains all the time. Like, there's dogs with owners. Like,
it doesn't matter.
But they
I
just
need
walk
to know
around.
for
and I was
myself.
like, I need to know. So she turns around, and I think I went and saw the dog had a collar. The dog was plenty fed.
It was fat. It was thick.
I was like, okay, cool. But this was my first time hanging out with her, and to be like, I need you to turn the car around. I felt so embarrassed, but at the same time, I didn't care.
And this is how we knew that we were destined to be friends forever, because the fact that we were both so dead set on potentially ending our own lives to save the life of a deer we've never met.
You can meet a deer.
Well,
we're not gonna.
I have met my dog in a past life. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've known him for centuries. He is the love of my life. He is my soulmate. It is possible that this deer knew us.
You're right.
I'm not gonna lie. We could have locked eyes with the deer and been like, I understand you. I look at Baxter on a daily basis and I go, I literally get you. And you are the only person who gets me.
I just had a daydream, an intrusive thought of when Baxter.
If it's bad, no.
You're just gonna be on this pod. You're not gonna be able to get through an episode.
I don't know what we're talking about. So anyway, let's move on to the next story.
I was gonna say we're rolling into the next story. Okay.
What was that?
My pastor thought our wedding day was our rehearsal.
That's unfortunate.
So she didn't show up to the rehearsal the night before, and my mom texted her asking if she would be there. And she was like, oh, I'll be there the next night. And we didn't think much of it. The day of the wedding came, and it was 10 minutes before the ceremony, and she still wasn't there. My mom called her, and she said she was on her way. When she got there, she didn't check in with me or my fiance, but was casually talking to people, and the ceremony started. I was walking down the aisle with my dad, and she said, whoa, slow down. I was a little confused, but I kept going. When we got to the altar, she said, wow, I've never seen so many people show up for a rehearsal. I really hope you all come back tomorrow. We thought she was just being funny until she continued by saying, okay, now this speaker would come up, etc., to like do their readings. Finally, my husband had to lean over and tell her, this is the actual wedding. She was like, are you serious? And I pretty much blacked out for a bit. She was able to pull it together in the end, but it was a trip. We also met with her several times before the big day. Anyways, that's my wedding horror story.
What is this woman 87 years old and doesn't recognize and realize the fact that somebody is walking down the aisle in a wedding dress with a bouquet?
Yeah, that is
after
not
every
a
single
rehearsal.
bridesmaid walks down in her bridesmaid's dress with a bouquet and moms are crying and there's probably 100 or more people there.
Yeah.
This actually kind of boiled my blood a little bit because are you
Yeah.
dumb?
Yeah. I would really struggle with that. Like, okay, let's say if you got the days wrong, but when you got there and you saw like the florals, that like everything is there and 100,
you're
200
wearing
people
your
there.
wedding dress.
Yeah.
She's in a wedding dress. That's what I'm saying. This person, woman, if you will, must be 117 years old.
Yeah.
And
That's
like,
rough.
I have a grandpa who has early onset dementia. I'm not going to make any assumptions, but there is absolutely no chance, especially if you like, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say,
Maybe she was given the wrong date.
no, say that maybe this is the first wedding she's ever officiated.
Yeah.
But she herself, in her little spiel, said, I've never seen this many people show up for a rehearsal before. You know better.
Yeah. Clearly. And here's my thing though, that like you said, give the benefit of the doubt. I always tell myself, like, I'll watch Jeopardy and I'm getting the answers. I'm like, these idiots. It'd be different if I was on Jeopardy. I think maybe my adrenaline would be pumping.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to deviate from the story because that's a horror story.
Maybe your
we
clicker
love to
stops
hear.
working.
Yeah, we love to hear. Please send us those horror stories. That is so fucking terrible.
I'm so sorry that happened to you, by the way, too.
I'd be stressed in the moment.
I would poo my pants.
Yeah. But have you ever had a officiant who's rude? Because I had that this year, and I remember looking at her, and I'm thinking, like, I've come across a lot of vendors, and it's never been the officiant who's been rude. She comes up to me, and she goes, so the couple asked me to slightly move out of the way after the kiss. Is that normal? Like, why are people
Was I
asking
there?
that? I feel like you were.
Was it not?
No, it was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. And she was really crappy that she was being asked to slightly move. So I thought she was a family friend. I was
Okay.
like, maybe she really wants to be in this photo of the first kiss. And no, I come to find out this is a hired person. This is not a family friend, but she was upset. And when she did move, Nick, when I tell you
Barely.
she moved maybe 6 inches.
Thank God for the AI.
And I was like, I think it would have been easier for me to Photoshop her if she was
In
behind
dead set in the
them.
middle.
Yeah, so they were covering her, but no,
Yeah.
it's just like half of her face. And I was like, okay. And I definitely Photoshopped her out, but I was like, I was kind of irritated that she was so up in arms that the couple's asking her to take 2 steps over.
I'm sorry, is it your wedding day? Are you not being
Yeah.
paid to be there?
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. And I was
Please
like,
leave.
yeah, I was like, that's kind of a popular thing nowadays. Just like, so the first kiss is just them. And she's like, so I'm just supposed to like sprint out of the way. And I said, no. I said, you could just take a couple steps over and I can Photoshop you out. Or I said, if it's more comfortable and easier, I said, before you announce them as husband and wife, if you want to take a couple steps so you can take your time and not feel like you have to Usain Bolt out of there. And she was not happy about it. And I feel like her resistance was shown.
Oh,
when
she for sure
like,
was fighting it.
the
She was like,
6-inch thing.
I'm going to leave my nostrils in this
No,
image.
seriously. I was like, big nostrils or not, baby, I'm Photoshopping you out of here.
She was sticking that nose in there. But yeah, honestly, I think an officiant story that I remember, I actually shot a wedding with you, and I remember the bride and groom after being like, that was really weird. We met that man.
remember what you're talking
They were
about.
like, we literally met that man one time over Zoom,
This is so funny.
and he was throwing out like he made it seem like he knew the couple since childhood. Since birth.
childhood.
Like he was there delivering them himself. He was crying, he was throwing out jokes, it was, and I guess like I wouldn't have known the difference, but the couple afterwards was like, that was really uncomfortable. Like they kept like looking at each other, and he kept trying to like take pictures with that, all this
All
stuff.
day.
And it was
All
just
day.
a really interesting thing to observe, because I was like, I've never seen anything like that. And it almost felt disrespectful to a certain level of like trying to insert yourself so heavily into somebody else's wedding day when you actually don't know them at all. It'd be better to just show up. Hey, I'm so excited for you guys. Let's do the damn thing. And then go and, you know, marry them, officiate the wedding. No, this was like, I thought he was Uncle Terry. Like,
no, he made it seem like he has known them forever. Like you said, he was crying. And
he was crying.
to me, I'm wondering, like, are you trying to show how good you are at this for bookings? Because what you've proven is that you're a family.
I'm afraid of you.
Well, but like that you're a family member and you're not a professional. Why would I hire you for my wedding? I thought you were related to both of these people weirdly.
Are you a stalker?
Yeah.
I'm literally
it's like that makeup artist who wouldn't leave the wedding, who just stuck around all day. Where I'm like, hey, you want to feel connected to your couple, but like there's also a line to draw at some point where I'm like, especially there are some couples, even as a photographer, there are some couples who are like, hey, we paid you for the photos, you gave us the photos, we love the photos, bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, like
relationship over. We're not contractually obligated to like continue to be your friend.
But also imagine trying to make 40 new friends that I'm talking to every day, like 40 new friends every year compounded. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. So I'm like, hey, if you love the photos, but like we're not best friends, that's okay. Like you probably have enough friends. I was your wedding photographer. Yeah. Anyways, and that's all we have to say about that.
Super interesting.
Thank you so much for joining Cocktail Hour, you guys. Do not forget to subscribe, review the pod wherever you can. Again, we are on, where the hell are we? Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. A lot of the times we try to share things on like the screen. So if you can, watch on YouTube or Spotify, because then you can actually see the mayhem that goes on.
You can see the Hannah Burner outfit that I'm referencing.
Yes, that is true.
And make sure you follow along with us on Instagram and TikTok. Our Instagram is at cocktailhour.podcast. That is where you can submit all of your stories. The link is in the bio and everything is absolutely anonymous. And follow us on TikTok as well at Cocktail Hour Podcast, no dots. We just love that you guys are able to keep up with us, especially as we do stuff like our road trip.
Hell yeah. Also, we're supportive girlies, so everything in the show notes, particularly on Spotify and YouTube, that we talk about. So go support those small businesses, big businesses, all that good stuff. But otherwise, we appreciate your support, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.